CCS-TV, empowering voices, inspiring futures.
Good afternoon, Pat. This is Pat Smeraldo from Collaborative Children's Solutions. Just in studio really quick, coming to you with former student here, Ben Cecchini, who will be in town he's in town right now, obviously, but we were doing a camp at the YMCA this Monday, the 8th, with some different groups of kids here in town and sharing his mission. Ben, thank you for coming back, my man.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Dude, I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a disclaimer here. I'm a Jamestown Public Schools teacher. It's well known. I've taught at different levels. Ben is a former student of mine with Jamestown. When did you graduate?
09.
09. Okay. No, 2000. Man, I'm old, dude. 09.
I'm older
okay.
now, too.
I'm old now. 2009. And I had Ben when I was a teacher, a phys ed teacher at Jamestown High School. Ben was a great kid, a tremendous athlete, football, basketball. You know, very successful, had a personality that could knock down a room back then and still does to this day, which is very encouraging. And Ben is doing his thing, and you're going to see the segment on it. We'll touch on it in a minute with his Give and Grow and helping kids through mindfulness and things like that. We were able to reconnect. And I had the ultimate seal of approval. Ben was here in the 23-24 school year speaking to some kids in Jamestown. And my son, my 15-year-old son, came home after seeing Ben speak and gave his stamp, and I didn't even know it, that he was seeing him that day, and said, "Dad, we heard this guy today," and he described it, and I said, "Was his name Ben?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "I had him as a student." I said, "Sure, he's still doing his thing." He talked about the rapping, and, you know, the disclaimer here, there are things I can remember in my career, that different things that came up. And I do remember one day during fitness testing, when the microphone used to be out, we would line kids up that you asked for the microphone and I provided the microphone for you to spit a rhyme. And it was, that came when Nicholas had told me that. I said, "You know what, Nick, at one point in gym, I handed him the microphone." "No, did you really?" I go, "He's been doing this since he was young." So tell me something, man. You're back in town.
Yeah, it's just honestly a pleasure to be here. Like the smells, the people, the family, friends, like everybody, and then the opportunity to collaborate on something I'm passionate about here in the community. It's truly just a blessing. So I can't thank you enough for helping to bring this to life, truly.
We've talked about this. Yeah, thank you. I mean, we've talked about this, though. We did this about 3-4 years ago. We've been doing this, right? And people say, what are the coolest things about you doing this with this non-for-profit? Obviously, we've been very fortunate with the city projects we've been able to handle that have supported us and some grant work and stuff like that. But I look at it as two factors, right? One factor is I've been able to meet new people that I wouldn't have encountered if I didn't do this work. One being this gentleman, John Felton. He's the owner and CEO of Southern Chautauqua Federal Credit Union. John has taught me so much about business and working with kids and financial literacy and all this stuff. And just, we've become incredible friends too. But the other thing I've really enjoyed is I've been able to reconnect with some students. And that's always, you know, it wasn't even a goal. But I'm glad it is that I can meet up with former students. I'll call you a kid. You're not a kid, but former kids that are out doing incredible things with other kids, and that we can somehow. I cannot recreate what you can do. I cannot, because what you're doing is earth-shattering. It's helping children around the world, virtually and in person. But what I can do is I can collaborate with you to expand what you're doing so that more kids get that good stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I'm real thankful for.
It's a beautiful gift to give, man, because we wouldn't, I know you've mentioned a couple other students that you've worked with in the past. Like, for me, I know I'll just speak for myself. I wouldn't be able to come here,
right?
You know, if it wasn't for you.
Thank you. Well, you're pretty famous now. Now, don't give that now. But Benny is also, and this thing I want to touch with too. Ben is bringing 8 kids of students, high school students from Chautauqua County.
From all over.
All over.
But 3 from Chautauqua County. 3
kids. He's given 3 kids an opportunity from Chautauqua County to come. Where specifically are you?
I'm in the Guanacaste province
of
Costa Rica, and in a town called Nosara. Yeah, so
that's life-changing.
yeah, I'm so excited. I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. It's going to be my first retreat that I've put on. We're going to be camping outdoors, right up on the jungle's edge, the base of a mountain with a waterfall flowing in the background, and these kids are going to be playing basketball every day, right? Because that's what's bringing them down there. They're excited, they're talented, they're motivated in that space, and so that's kind of been my journey, is to find spaces where kids are motivated by basketball and then give them these life skills through the game. So basketball is just the thing that brings people together. And what I've learned of living down in Costa Rica for the last almost 4 years is that it's the language of sport. It's the language of basketball. You don't need to know Spanish or English. Obviously that helps. Right. But yeah, it's exciting stuff. And that's
to give a kid from around here that wouldn't have that opportunity. Some had to fundraise, some paid, but to give a kid that opportunity, now what would my goal be? My goal to be in the future of, Ben, how did that go? And how can we get 12 kids there next year? You know, and how can we keep giving kids this opportunity to connect? Because we've talked a little bit about the mindfulness thing, and before COVID, I worked with these teachers from Faulkner. It's well known, the mindfulness and movement team, and these girls were doing some incredible things with Head Start, and I hope to rekindle that this summer. But when you mention, mindfulness, obviously that's a tough pull for some people, but then you mention names like Kobe Bryant, LeBron, any of them,
MJ,
Steph, MJ, I mean,
all these people.
To be able to reach that maximum level of eliteness, I would say, for lack of a better word, but then to deal with trauma and to deal with the things that come up. And I look at a performance, obviously they're performing at an athletic level that's, worldly, but to perform as a father, to perform as a brother, a sibling, a friend, to be able to have a clear head as a community member, things like that, to fall back on those skills, I think that's immeasurable, in my opinion.
And that's really why I want to combine these things. Like, okay, let's meet kids where they're already motivated, whatever it is. It could be music, it could be art, it could be sports, right? And give them these life skills. And a big part for me early on was like, sports are going to teach life skills regardless. Just any experience is potentially going to teach you a life skill of communication, of goal setting, hard work, dedication, that sort of thing. But what if we made it the focus of the program to deliver those skills and keep it fun? Keep it where they're still having a good time with the sport or whatever it is they love, but that's the focus and intention. Yeah,
and those skills then, I work with a lot of employers in Chautauqua County. I've spoken with them, I've met with them. Those are the skills they're looking for.
100%.
Organization, on time, being prepared, focused, that's what we're lacking a little bit now. So to be able to deliver that at a young age, and then hopefully that transcends up into the work environment.
Yeah, because then they have those tools when they're facing off with conflict with their brother, sister, mother, father, whatever.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think kindergarten to fifth grade, that elementary school level, it's so empowering to give them these skills then, because middle school is right around the corner. And we all know how tough middle school can be. It's wild. So give them the skills to be able to handle that. And there's so many, like you've mentioned, people doing this work all around the world. I'm just thankful to be one of those people, But
it's awesome. I love what you do, my man. We're going to do big things. You're going to do big things on Monday. He's going to continue to do big things. In August, when he gets these 8 young people down to Costa Rica, and we're going to continue to bring more. Maybe come back in the fall and we'll speak to some people. But I thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My man, I appreciate you very much. Ben Cecchini will be here this week, and he's coming back. Thank you.
CCS-TV, empowering voices, inspiring futures.